After being away from glorious New York City for most of the last 7 weeks, I went for a walk after getting back and I said to myself, fuck it, let's do another preview. And thankfully I can, because the start of the Bundesliga is almost upon us, so let's get after it. First up, Freiburg. Led by striker and German Olympian Nils Petersen, who surprisingly stayed with the club after they got relegated 2 seasons ago, Freiburg scored 75 goals, including 21 by Petersen himself in their 1-year stay in the second division, as they see themselves go right back up to the top division, and manager Christian Streich has promised more of the same. Now I don't think it's going to be that easy, but I do think they're going to stay up. 15th. Next up, Hamburg. The second biggest city in Germany deserves better than what the club has put on the field in recent years. So even with the addition of some young and hungry faces like American striker Bobby Wood, if he could, and I hope that he does, Hamburg's gonna need some time, maybe even a full season to get this new core of players on the same page, so I'm gonna say 10th. Coming up next, Hoffenheim. They have a 28-year-old manager, and his name is Julian Nagelsmann, and he's their third manager in the last 10 months, but he rightly earned the full-time job after saving the team from relegation. But still, he's 28. He's a little baby, but a brave baby who shipped off their best player and striker Kevin Volland to Bayer Leverkusen and used that money that they got from his sale to buy 4 solid guys, which ultimately I believe is going to be for the betterment of the team as they get away from the Volland-Firmino days and forge something new. So 7th. Oh, I love this. The sweetest smelling team in Germany, Cologne. After 2 decades of this former champion creating a sense of instability at the club as they move back and forth in the first and second division, they had their highest finish in the top flight since 1992 last season. But what does that mean for this season? I don't know. But what I do know is that they haven't made too many significant moves this summer to make a significant difference in the table, so I think they'll remain comfortably in the middle. 11th. Up next, the team with the longest name in the history of the world, Borussia Mönchengladbach. Last season started with a lot of hype, which forced a lot of opponents, myself included, to learn how to pronounce their name properly. But then they crashed early, and then they fired their manager, and then they hired the U15 German national team coach Andre Schubert, who then went on to lead them to a 4th place finish, scoring the 3rd most goals in the league. So scoring is not going to be their problem, it's going to be their defending. They gave up 50 goals in 34 games last season, so if they can shore that up, then I know they're going to make a good run in Europe and in the league, and I think they'll finish 4th again. I love them, you love them, everyone loves them. Eintracht Frankfurt. I am a big fan of their manager, Niko Kovac, who got hired back in March to help the club secure safety in the top flight, which only happened when they scored a goal in the 66th minute of leg 2 of the promotion relegation playoff against Nürnberg. So the new manager has a lot of work to do, which includes keeping stud striker Alex Meyer healthy, because when he does well, the team does well, and when he doesn't play or doesn't do well, the team doesn't do very well. So everything is riding on his back. But he's 33, and it's hard to stay healthy when you're 33, so I'm expecting another tough season. 16th. Next up, the German club everyone loves to hate, RB Leipzig. Being funded by an energy drink has its privileges, as Leipzig has used all of that manic energy and no sleep to climb the ranks of German football from the 5th division to the top flight in only 7 years after they were reborn in 2009. And now that they're at the very tippy top, where anything is possible and dreams can be made and problems can be solved with a lot of money, they're making moves, like politely recruiting manager Ralf Husenhuttl away from Ingolstadt after he led that club to a miraculous 11th place finish last season. However, as much as I love their ambition and their energy, I think this first season is going to come with a steep learning curve, but they're going to stay up. 13th. Next up, Hertha Berlin. They spent the first 20 weeks of last season in a place in the table that would have qualified them for the Champions League. Then injuries, then tiredness, then the pressure of trying to maintain that level, or all of the above, got the best of them and they finished 7th. However, with their manager and core players remaining intact, and with the signing of Ondrej Duda, a 21-year-old Slovakian international playmaker who was very influential during the Euros, I think they're going to do better, but not as much as the fans would want. 6th. And now for the hairiest team in Germany, Wolfsburg. The Wolves, formerly known as Lord Bentner's team, surprised everyone by making it to the quarterfinals of the Champions League last season, which was the farthest the club had ever gotten in that competition. However, the jubilation of that achievement was undermined by their 8th place finish in the league. So have they gotten better? Have they learned anything from last season? I'm not so sure. With Andre Schürrle and Naldo gone and their best player Julian Draxler asking to leave, it could be another underwhelming season. 8th. Next up, the team you always wanted to know more about, Ingolstadt. Like Leicester City, the dream of replicating what they did the season before is over. It was a beautiful aberration of what can be accomplished when team spirit trumps how much money a club spends, but it has to end at some point. And after Ingolstadt's incredible 11th place finish in their first ever season in the Bundesliga, their dream ends in 10 months. 18th. And who do we have here? Oh, Werder Bremen. The best thing this club did over the last few months, besides escaping relegation back in May, was not only signing long-lost hero Max Kruse, who used to play for the club, but had been busy the last 7 seasons scoring goals for other German clubs and for his country, was also signing 7 other solid guys to help bolster the team, especially in the back four, and to bolster its hopes of getting back to respectability. 9th. Up next, Darmstadt. Back in the Bundesliga after 33 years, the smallest, teeny tiniest club in the top division needed a 2-1 win over Hertha on the final day of the season to stay up. But that miracle was then, and this is now. And now they have a new coach. They were gutted of most of their best players, many of whom were on loan anyway, and they have little money to spend on new players, which means, again, they're gonna have to rely on loans and trying to lure players to come with the promise of playing in one of the best leagues in the world. But sadly, that's not gonna be enough. 17th. Next up, the little German engine that could, Augsburg. All I know about this southern German club is that their manager, Markus Weinzierle, is one of the best managers that you've never heard of, as evidenced by him getting the club to the Europa League knockout rounds last season where they faced Liverpool and unfortunately lost. But now he's gone, as are a lot of the players he trusted, which means they're in that gray area, that dangerous gray area known as a team in transition. 14th. Coming up next, Bayer Leverkusen. You say Chicha, I say Rito. Rito. The Mexican international flourished under manager Roger Schmidt, and with the addition of part-time German international striker Kevin Volland up top, who has already scored 5 goals in 4 preseason games, Leverkusen could be tipped for big things. And by big things, I mean they could be better than every club in Germany minus Dortmund and Bayern. 3rd. And now it's time for my favorite pronunciation of any team in the German league, Mainz. The last 3 lesser-known German clubs to qualify for the Europa League, Eintracht Frankfurt and Freiburg in 2013, and Augsburg last season, always struggle in the season where they have to juggle both competitions, and Mainz is next, especially since they lost a few key players, including stud goalkeeper Loris Karius to Liverpool, so they're gonna drop from 6th to 12th. I wanna say Schalke, but it's Schalke. The club that used to be a regular name in the Champions League hasn't had a taste of that glorious competition in 2 seasons, and they're aiming to fix that with the hiring of CEO Christian Heidel, who did wonders with Mainz, and manager Markus Weinzierle, who, as I mentioned earlier, did wonders with Augsburg. But I don't think they're gonna get it completely right in year 1 with their partnership. I think it's gonna take them a little bit longer, but they're gonna do a lot of things right this season. 4th. Black and yellow, Borussia Dortmund. In the 53 years of the existence of the Bundesliga, Dortmund's tally of 78 points last season would have been good enough for them to win the league in all but 4 of those seasons. That's how good they were. But this summer, even though they lost their captain and defensive giant Mats Hummels to rivals Bayern Munich, and playmakers Henrik Mkhitaryan and Ilkay Gundogan to Manchester clubs in England, they got 8 players in return. 8 very good players. And some clubs and some coaches would think that upheaval is too much, but I think they're gonna be even better, which means they're gonna push Super Bayern Munich all the way to the very last weekend, but unfortunately fall a little bit short and get 2nd. And last but not least, Bayern Munich. Personally, I think many of the players on Bayern are happy that the super serious Pep Guardiola is gone and that a true player's coach, a man who never screams or shouts but still holds everyone accountable, Carlo Ancelotti, who has 16 major titles in his managerial career, including 3 Champions League trophies with 3 different clubs, is now in charge. And because of this shock change in how they're being treated on a daily basis, I think the players are going to respond very positively and win the league for the 5th straight time. First. Alright, that's it. That is all I got, except this. If you want to win a brand new Bayern jersey that was signed and packaged by Juan Bernat and Rafinha, courtesy of my friends at DHL, then tell me why you deserve it, and I'll pick a winner and have DHL send it to your house. Later.